Next to my side of the truck over here is 1972 Chevy Burlington.
August 14th.
Because this truck wrecked so bad, we built this truck for his son. He saw us doing this Chevy.
Gives you goosebumps. They rev them up.
at 23.3 miles per hour for Braden Dutcher and Ransom Snow.
So we run 2 sleds, keeps the action. Of course, there's a lot of stuff here, so we need 2 sleds. And you can see, well, we're doing big rigs. And they go all the way out around there, all the way around. You'll see them down.
Welcome everybody to a special edition of Let's Grow Pulling. It's a beautiful Thursday night, and I have Floyd with me, Wayne, and I think Mike is with us now. Mike, can you hear us okay? He's down there he spent all his money on his mini rod. He doesn't have any internet at his house, so it's all good. It's all good. Aaron, can you hear us, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yay, we got Aaron.
All right.
Praise the Lord. Well, tonight, guys, we want to talk about Burlington Motorsports Park, June 25th through the 26th in Burlington, Pennsylvania. Floyd, I guess this is kind of where you take over, and I'll just read the comments. And right now, you and Aaron and Wayne are on here, and you guys introduce, I guess, tell us who you are each and how your involvement in the pull. If you have a pulling vehicle, tell us about it. Floyd, you go first.
All right. It's Burlington Motor Park. So if you're on Facebook, if you add sports, you won't find us, but it's Burlington Motor Park. We're in Burlington, Pennsylvania. Some of our promoters. What's that? Okay, well, we got a little bad cell service. We're trying to get everybody added on.
What's up, guys?
Andrew's got some sweet hair, Floyd.
Oh, yeah, I guess. So we've got Wayne. You can introduce yourself.
Yeah, Wayne Kohler. We run around with the Rotten Apple Pro Stock pulling truck. We were lucky enough to attend Burlington a few times last year, just about every time, and I had some great success there. Got to meet Floyd, knew some of his family back in the days when his dad pulled. I pulled when I was younger. Great facility, and it's a great track, and it's a great place. The pulling vehicle is a 500 cubic inch Chevy, 4-wheel drive, makes about 1,000 horse, and we have a lot of fun with it. We really learned a lot about pulling at Burlington last summer. So the track can be different, a little different at times, but it was really educational, and really enjoyed the heck out of it. And Floyd asked me to help with the gas part of the trucks, so it's nothing I haven't done before. I've done everything from flagging to teching to pulling my own truck to building my own truck. So it's nothing too out of the ordinary. But appreciate the chance to be on this broadcast, and I'm here to answer any questions anybody might have. Thank you.
Wayne, what's the enhanced gas class?
The enhanced gas class is a class that started up in New York State 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years ago. And at times they were getting 25 trucks in there. They're basically 700-800 horsepower big block engines, allowed to run headers with some sort of exhaust hooked to them. They do have rear springs in the trucks. They're not solid suspension. And they are allowed to put weight on, but most of the guys that do it, they have to keep their weight underneath the front bumper. So that kind of sets them apart from the other trucks. And they need a factory cab and the factory sheet metal too. So there's quite a few more rules with the enhanced gas class than probably any of them to try to get the guys as equal as they can and make it as competitive as it can be, and which it really is. So good bunch of guys come there. Upstate pullers out of Walton, New York. They bring 5-6 trucks with them every time. So them guys are going to be the guys to beat, and we anticipate quite a few trucks in that division also. So the rules are posted there for the enhanced gas and the pro stocks, and they can contact me on I am on Facebook under Kobler, or they can call with the rules, either one. So be glad to talk to anybody.
The rules are posted on Burlington Motor Park truck pulling. It's on the page. There's 2 posts pinned to the top. One's gas and one's diesel, and you can message on those pages, and Aaron and Wayne will be able to see whether it's a gas or diesel, and Andrew there. So we'll move on. Well, I guess we lost Aaron there. So
Talk to Mike.
Mike.
Looks like Mike actually has a good signal there.
I think I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. Very good. I won't move.
Okay, so tell everybody what you do with us, Mike.
Well, we're bringing down our, some people want to refer to MTPA, Grand National Regional Mini rod. We run a blown mini, 2050 class weight-wise. We run NTPA, PPL rules all over the country. And we're also going to have the interstate club classes there for the small block, big block minis that they run. And also I guess they call it the Econo Mods, Pennsylvania. They got some class for them too. But we're hoping to bring in, I don't know, as many as we can. I'm looking for 6 to 10 blow minis down there, maybe more. Hoping to put on a good show for you guys.
Anybody that has any questions, you can get a hold of Mike, or you can message me on the Burlington Motor Park page, and I'll pass them along.
They can reach out to me on Facebook too, Floyd, and whatnot. We got a lot of people I've already talked to, but if anybody has any questions, the interstate rules are posted on their website at our website, interstatepullers.com, I believe it is. And most everybody that's running our class very familiar with what we're doing already, so we shouldn't have too many complications there. But I know our class should be pulling Saturday night, right, Floyd?
Yeah, you're going to run blown minis, alcohol blown minis Saturday night, and the other mini rods. You'll have to look at the class schedules, but we have minis running actually Friday night, Saturday day, and then Saturday night, which is the big full blown ones. So if you want to see an exciting time, but the rules, if you have a question in what class and what rules between the interstate and then the other ones, you can ask Mike. We'll hook you up. So I guess, Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been doing this for quite a few years. You recruited me right at the beginning there to take over the trucks. My forte is more in the diesel end of things. Yeah, I mean, we've always put on a pretty good show there, so we're hoping to have quite a few trucks this year. Mainly, we're just starting out with the work stock classes and working up from there.
So you're going to do the diesel tech, right?
And we just lost Aaron again.
Oh, all right. Well, Andrew, you can jump right in there.
Okay, Aaron's back.
Yeah, my internet's not working very well here tonight for some reason. I don't know why. Must be the weather's too nice.
So you're going to do the tech and then the diesel trucks, you and Andrew there, right?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I say the diesel tech rules they can ask you.
Yeah. If they have any questions, contact me. I mean, we pretty much have a class for everybody. I mean, everybody's going to fit in. Just need to show up, bowl, have a good time. I'm not sure what we're doing as far as super stocks go, super stock diesels, but we have a work stock class. We have a unlimited street class, which is for street legal trucks. We're doing a 2.6 Pro mod. It's not a street class. I mean, you can pull it if you have a street truck, but it's more for an unstreetable truck. And then we have the 3.0 limited class, which, like I said, all the rules are posted. Or if you have any questions, they can contact me about them.
Aaron, Ben Coffer says, would like more info on the work stock diesel class, please. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Work stock diesel class is pretty much designed for anybody with a street truck. Anywhere from no modifications up to any kind of chips, programmers, all that stuff. Basically, the only thing they can't do is they have to have air, they have to have stock intercoolers, and they have to have stock turbos. As far as fuel upgrades, other than no dual pumps, so CP3s you can only have one, but you can have injectors, programmers, whatever. I mean, pretty much your intake can be different. No injectables, so you can't have any propane or nitrous or water meth or any of that stuff. So it's pretty much for the guys that have just an everyday driver that they have souped up a little bit and they want to come out and see what it can do.
Perfect. Floyd, any heavy farm classes?
We've got there's a 10.5 hot farm. It's a 466 limit. Then there's another local club that runs a 10.5 hot stock, which is a 619 cubic inch limit. So we'll have those two classes on Friday night.
I'm trying to zoom in on the classes there, Floyd.
Yeah, they're on the Motor Park page, Burlington Motor Park page. Anybody that wants to look in there for the classes. There was a couple typos in there. So if you see it and you question, don't hesitate to call, because sometimes we do make a few mistakes there. I know one thing is a big tire class. It says 2,500. It's on a Saturday session, and that's actually 5,500. And then if you look at the gas class, the 6,400. One says, I think it says Pro Stock or Pro Street. And then you go to the other Saturday night session, and it says just the opposite. So it was a little confusing to a few people. So that's our announcer, Steve.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Here, Steve.
Yeah, I got you. You hear me all right?
I don't. Somebody's crackling up here.
Sounds like a bunch of Japanese or something coming in.
Yeah. All right. So Steve is our announcer. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Steve.
Well, I'm Steve Eaton from Northwest Ohio. I was out there last year announcing. We had a wonderful time. Denver Getchy and I, and both our wives were out there with us. And you're talking about a wonderful place to go out and pull, guys and girls. If you can go out early, the drive getting out there is just phenomenal. At least it is from here for us to drive out that way. It's beautiful going up through there, the scenery. Just take your time going up. Some of them roads are kind of fun to get up, but it's a lot of fun out there. They got a great place out there at Burlington Motor Park. Lots and lots of room. First time we was out there, you're kind of amazed. You're like, wow, we're out here in the middle of a field. But boy, did we pack the people in there last year for everything that happened last year. We were out there several times and packed the house each time we were out there. I think Wayne can tell us a little bit about that, because it seemed like the Rotten Apple polling team always parks right behind the announcer stand, and these guys barbecue and cook all weekend long. And Denver and I get fat just from the smell of everything. So, or fatter, I guess I should say, because the smoke from their barbecue just comes right on up. But we are fed very well out there. But what a great place, Floyd. You know, we've talked many, many times over the last year and this winter, and it just keeps getting better and better. You know, the sound system's been upgraded, the lights have been upgraded. You know, fans, if you want a great poll to come to, you know, next week or at the end of the month, they're the 25th and 26th. Make sure you're there because it is a great place to be.
Like we lost a few techs there off the line with the bad service.
Yeah, they just couldn't get hooked up, Floyd. Sorry about that. So with their Wi-Fi.
Well,
yeah, I think there's going to be, you know, a great big show. Floyd, you really pulled it out, getting the minis in there this year coming out. You know, you got the garden tractors running Saturday morning. You know, then the big, you know, they're all big shows to us, but Saturday night you get the big boys in there. And I'll tell you what, guys, it's a lot of fun down in there in the valley where they sit at. It just echoes. And I mean, you can hear when these guys shut the mods off, they just echo for, it seems like for 5 minutes or so through the canyon or through the mountains or whatever you want to call them. But it is pretty neat out there, and it's a really neat place to go. You come out for your first time, you know, the camping, come on out, camp. Floyd, you know, I don't know if you're charging for camping yet or anything, but it's well worth it, whatever it is, if it charges you camp for the weekend.
That's $15 a day for camping up to 6 people.
Yeah, you can't beat that anywhere.
It lays along the creek. When you get down there camping, you almost forget that you're at the tractor pull. The family comes, and a lot of people bring their kids. It's a family-friendly place. The kids go down the creek and swim and play, and then they watch the pulls at night. So it's a good time for a lot of people. I've had calls recently. I received a call last night. A fella from Virginia's been up all last year. He's planning on coming up this year. Just double checking on what day they can come. It's gotten to be so much that where people want to come, they want to come in a couple days early rather than wait till the weekend. They want to come and camp for the whole weekend. They've really enjoyed it. I got a call from a lady from up to Penn, New York. She comes down every year. Unfortunately, this show, she wondered if there was other dates because she's only going to be able to make a later one. She's not able to make this because of a conflict of scheduling, but anyway, they commented and had a great time, loved to come down, and they want to come back again. But yeah, it's a great place to come if you haven't been there. We have 38 acres, so you can spread out. Even during the COVID situation, we had lots of room. Everybody could spread out, and we had some really good turnouts there. There's some videos on the Burlington Motor Park page if you want to cruise down through and take a look. It'll take a while to get down through them, but I went around in the side-by-side, and I did a preview just showing you what was there. And I mean, there's just rows of tractor trailers. There's, I don't know, probably 3-4 rows of tractor trailers and trucks with trailers and trucks and tractors. I'll tell you how much stuff was there. I went and bought a video after the fact and watched it on TV. And I didn't even see half the stuff that was pulling. I didn't even know it was there. It was amazing. It really was.
Yeah.
But
and for having, you know, for the COVID stuff that happened last year, Floyd, you were one of the only places out that way that was pulling all summer long. I mean, we were like out there several times, and the stands were packed. Infield was packed. Everybody was, you know, there having a good time. We had no issues with anything, and it just, you know, everything just worked out great. And, you know, I can't say, you know, there's nothing bad about out there. Denver and I just absolutely love coming out there with our wives to announce. It's a lot of fun. I will tell you, pack a jacket with you because once that sun sets over the hill, it does get a little chilly, folks. So, but guys, gals, come on out. Make a great weekend of pulling out there. You'll really enjoy being out at Burlington Motor Park.
yeah, we had, we ran because we're self-funded. We don't, no municipality or state or anything owns us. We we own our own stuff. So, and we also, that's kind of maybe a downfall because we don't have the free money to work with the purses. That's out of pocket stuff. So, everybody that comes in to watch that supports us, that's how we help pay and keep bringing in the big tractors and the big trucks and the whole lineup so you can have a good show. Everybody, we want you to be, and even you can buy the live feed, but anybody that can see a picture, it's never the same as being right there and then feeling the engine when it vibrates and gives you goosebumps. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Making people happy, putting on a good show for the family. And I give you something to do, especially after a lot of people cooped up this year. The ones that didn't come out. We even had neighbors that didn't come out due to the COVID situation. They were nervous about it, understandably. And they said, this year, we're ready to roll. So it should be a good time. We do have a few sponsors there. Amy Chevy in Troy, Pennsylvania. Wolf's Truck Wash, also in White Sox, Pennsylvania. And Writers Excavating out of Towanda. And those three are some of our pretty good sponsors that have been with us for quite a few years, actually, that helped us. And they help us out. But, it's always good to give back to our sponsors to help us a little. Aaron, what's on your mind? Ad service locked up again, huh? Wayne, comment?
I would like to reiterate that I've been going to tractor pulls and truck pulls since I was a kid, and there's a reason Rotten Apple pulling down, because it's a great facility and it's fun, and we've been pretty successful there too. Not to brag, but I invite anybody to come down and try to beat that truck down there this year, because I think that might be a little on the difficult side. But I appreciate everybody that's been coming, and what I just said, I really meant it. That's a great place to pull, and you really enjoy it. I brought my camper last year, and I'll be bringing it again this year. So just really looking forward to it, and just hoping for great weather. And it's just a great assortment of iron pulling there. So just you get to see a little bit of everything and enjoy yourself, and just sit back and take it all in. If you miss it, it's nobody's fault but your own.
Mike, do you got some service now enough to talk?
I think I'm good. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. No, I'd reiterate that we've been there a couple times and to watch, and we've been after Floyd to get our minis down there. And we're really hoping we can have a mini overload down there and put on a good show for everybody. And we're looking forward to it. It's a great facility, which everybody said before. Plenty of room. The pit area is huge, and I hope the people come on out, because it looks like there's going to be a darn lot of class. There's certainly something for everybody. I'd like to thank Floyd for trying to get our minis off the ground, and we're going to do everything in our corner to make it right. So looking forward to seeing y'all down there. Come on over and say hi.
Thought the minis to be a nice addition, because I know that you got to go quite a ways to see them. I know that it's a hometown pull for Mike, and he's 3.5 hours from us. So that ought to tell you about just you got to travel, right?
Yeah. Well, we're only about 3 hours away, but I'm pretty sure I got a buddy of mine coming up from North Carolina, South Carolina, one from Pennsylvania, maybe one or two from Michigan, possibly one from Indiana, and 1, 2, or 3 from Ohio. So Kevin Hill's bringing his down from Vermont for our show. So I'm looking forward to having a good show down there for everybody.
We added them with the idea that we're going to try and incorporate the mini rods with our show, where we can, we've got to be able to justify the sled. So with the interstate classes, we have fellas coming out of New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and then the New England states. I know some are coming. So here's a pretty good, and then there's a local crowd of them here pulling. So I think that as long as you've got a place to go with the mini rods, I think that it'll grow. And we're trying to have all the classes, and it's something that you're not going to see. You're going to travel a lot of miles to go see it. If you want to see the mini rods, we're the place to go.
Yeah, it certainly is. I know I could speak for a lot. We got a lot of people from Western New York coming down. Never seen us at all, so we're hoping to put on a good show for them as well as everybody else. But like you said, it's a hometown club for us, so there's going to be a lot of iron there from all over the place. So people should have something in it. We were.
Well, I guess we
were just. I got the crew out here tonight feeding them pizza and wings. Now we're just fired up tonight. Headed to Washington, Ohio weekend from now. Hopefully we'll have all the bugs out there and get on them in Burlington.
I just thought about what you told me. Maybe you want to make the announcement, or maybe you don't, about the mini rod guys and feeding them there.
Oh yeah. I put on the Facebook today. I posted that Mary and I and our team are planning on feeding all y'all mini rod guys. So around 4:00 ish on Friday, you can find my trailer down there in the back row and come on down. We're going to have a meet and greet for some of you I don't know, probably most of you I don't know, but some I do. But like to have a little meet and greet. And you're all welcome to come on over and have a hot dog or hamburger on us and say hello and share some stories before we pull at night, or you pull at night. And, we're looking forward to that. I'm sure everybody will be around afterwards, having their favorite beverage or soda, afterwards. So, yeah, come on out. We're looking forward to you. I got my official cook suspending their heritage team coming along with us. So, we're going to keep them busy.
Well, that's one of the things that we like to promote at the Motor Park. Is now, it's a lot more than pulling. There's a lot of camaraderie. You're out getting to socialize, see people, because usually you're running one class. Everybody's running one class. You not have to go out and wait up and run back, get your second class, because like the trucks, you're running one night, then you run the next night, so you've got time to watch the rest of the class. You can socialize, spend time talking to everybody, because like Saturday during the day when the other stuff's running, gives you a lot of time, and you really get to have, it's a good camping weekend, and it's good for the family. We enjoy having everybody.
Yeah, Floyd, that's when we got into this. We started in 2018, and Mary and I have been in the tractor pulling all our lives, watching and supporting. We finally went out and started chasing this national mini rod thing, but everybody refers to it as pulling family. And I'll tell you, there was never any truer words said than that. We got friends from all over the country already in just a short time we've been pulling. We give you the shirt off their back. They might compete against you at night, but they're still loyal friends and do anything for you. So, yeah, absolutely.
Guys, and you see that a lot anymore. The crowd's just amazed at, from our perspective of sitting up in the tower announcing when somebody's up to the line or whatever, getting ready to go up to the line and something is wrong. It's not just their team out there looking to see what's going on. It's everybody. I mean, somebody from another team or a lot of people from different teams are coming out to help. You guys are all competitive out on the track, but still, if somebody needs a part or whatever, you're more willing to go back, get the part, help them out, get them out there and run. And it's just amazing how it all works out and everybody gets along, but you're still, if you can beat him, I'm going to take him off the track. It's just that way. So, but it's really cool to
watch. There is, I just want to throw out there, Aaron said about the super stock truck. Saturday, let me look at session 3. There is a super stock diesel truck class that we're offering. And I know last year we had quite a few throughout the year, and a lot of it because of the dry weather. The track was a little dry somewhat. And it was hard. I mean, well, in a typical year, we can put 1,000 to 1,500 gallons of water on and that track's ready. Last year, they had 7,000 gallons, 2 tankers of water and put on that track, and it was still somewhat dry. Nobody's fault. It just happened to be the year, and the track was hard underneath just because of the situation. Now, this year, the way it's looking with the moisture in the ground and stuff, you're going to find out it's going to be a better tackier track. Not it was bad last year, but you're going to find more tack, and it's going to be a little more bite to it. And it's, I had a fella come with a tractor before, and before we worked the track, this was 2 years ago. He came in, he kicked the ground up, and he was telling me this after the fact. He said, I kicked the ground up, it was a little loose. I thought, wow, there's nothing out there. So he went out and hooked his tractor up, and he was a gear higher than he normally runs. Well, he simply didn't make 75 feet, re-geared. And after he pulled, he come over and told me, he said, I'm going to tell you, I never dreamt that track was going to turn into what it turned into. And he found out it does turn into a really good power track. So I think that you're going to like it if you want to come out and have a good pull. We do have a class for everybody. I don't think we've ever sent anybody home. We've always found a place for you. So we appreciate it. And I appreciate Jason putting us out here, giving us some advertising and working with us. We were lucky last year. We were one of the only places for a long time that was running. And so if anybody wants to come out, we'd love to have you.
I like reading through some of these comments, like here, Ben Coffer says, hey, thanks, I'm new to pulling. This will be my first time pulling, but I've been up there every single show up there last year and absolutely loved it. Can't wait to get into pulling up there. So that's how it starts. That's how the tractor pulling and truck pulling disease starts. So way to go, Floyd.
Yeah, he was it was kind of funny, that fella Ben there. There was a restaurant I used to stop at about an hour away from here when I did some gas rig service, and he was cooking in there and waiting on me at the counter. And I said, hey, do you ever go to the pulls? And I told him about our shows coming up, and it was like the first show coming up. And so he come up, and I mean, I don't talk to him a lot, but I did happen to see him when he come up to the show. And actually I went back and got a burger another time, and he's like, man, thank you for sending me up there. And you can go out in there and look at the videos. You'll get the taste of what it's there, what you can expect. We have a lot of classes. I mean, I think there's 14 classes Friday night, and in between all the classes on Saturday day and Saturday night, there's got to be in the 20 some. And in order to run a place this big, it takes a lot of people to come in there. That's why we have Wayne and Aaron and Mike and Andrew on their inspection crews, or John Quiggle, who does the garden tractors. It takes a lot of people to put this on with as many vehicles that come there. And we want to keep offering big shows. And we're offering shows, we hope, that are something that you want to come and see, make a trip out.
It looks like Wayne's got a fan there. Randy Savacha. Wayne?
Yeah.
Is that a friend of yours, or did you give him $20 to say that? Or
on Facebook, and he must have caught this. Actually, I haven't seen Randy in about a year, so but he is a local guy here, and we have a lot of support locally for the Rotten Apples.
Jason, I think what he did, he offered him a plate of ribs or something to get him to start commenting on a bunch of his stuff. But Jason, while I got you, thank you a lot for helping Burlington Motor Park out. That is awesome. I mean, really, really great to get Floyd and his track out there to let people know that it is a great place to be.
Yeah, no, Floyd and I have been talking on the phone and just been trying to put this together. And I've promoted polls before, and we all have full-time jobs, and we're running around with our head cuts off, and we still try to put these events on, and it takes a lot of work. And when I say I want to promote polling, I'll help anybody out, even Floyd. I'll even help Floyd out.
Well, I tell you, like I said, Denver and I really enjoy going out there and announcing. The crowd is very receptive to us out there. They, we get a lot of feedback from them. You're not going to make everybody happy at every poll you go to, but I'll tell you what, we get a lot of positive feedback from the fans out there at Burlington. So we hope it stays that way this year also.
I was trying to flip through the Facebook page and share some of the pictures, Steve, and it's big. There's a map on here and really neat. A lot of cool stuff. So.
No, you know that when the people, the crowd call you and they ask you, first thing they ask you is who's announcing. That ought to tell you what kind of job they do. And I always correct them and say they're not announcers, they're show hosts. Because between Steve and Dever, I'll tell you they're the other half of the show. In between the tractors and the trucks, and they're entertaining for sure. So if you want a good show, the second half of the show, Steve's it.
I like it.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Wayne, I can't wait to smell the ribs and hamburgers cooking.
You will.
Hey, Floyd.
Yep. Thank you, Jason. Yep.
Yeah, Floyd, stay on here with me a second. I'm going to let Steve and Wayne go, and I'm going to wrap it up with you, okay?
All right.
Thanks, guys. Good night, Wayne.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jason.
Yep. Good luck, buddy.
Oh, you betcha.
All right, Floyd. So how long have you been doing your events out there?
I'm going to say this is probably our 7th or 8th year. I guess I don't even know. Didn't really keep track.
So what's your pulling? I mean, what makes you want to do all this? Because it's a lot of freaking work and you're not making any money. I can tell you that for a fact.
I got that.
What's your passion behind it?
Well, I started out going to Stoneboat pulls with my dad in the early 70s when I was just a little kid. And I remember riding back to the truck. I don't even remember much. I do remember some flashes of the Stoneboat pull.
Yeah.
And then later on, when I guess I kind of didn't pull for a lot of years, and I got up in just getting out of high school, and for whatever reason, my dad thought we ought to get a cock shot. So we got a cock shot, started pulling that around. And I'm going to tell you, I definitely didn't have first place tractor, and I didn't have money for a first place tractor. So we worked up from there, and eventually we built 560 farmalls, and we got into international. I used to have a business called Custom Tractor Parts. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching that have got a lot of our parts in there because we did the light limited super stock classes and ones with the red diamonds. Sold a lot of pieces and parts. But so anyway, the farmall started to be my color. And we took pieces and parts. We took pistons out of a Ford 4000, and we took some cock shot rods out of a cock shot and put them in the 560 and stroked the crank and all set, ground it. And we were doing a lot of winning for a long time. And, we didn't do it because we could buy the parts. We did it because back in the day, nobody really had the option to buy the parts. So, right. And then my dad was running a 1466, and another friend ran a 1066, and we had a great club over here, Henry Everman as well. He was running a tractor, and we had probably 7 of us, the big tractors, and then the smaller tractors. But we had every fair there was, I think, across New York State and some into Pennsylvania, and we had a great time for quite a few years. And I guess I got worked into it. Our fellow Rick Eberlin is our treasurer now. He was running another club, and I went there to pull. And then he's like, well, you helped us out with the pull. Can you help us out next year? So, well, okay. And I really didn't know my limitations. I hadn't promoted. I didn't know anything about what to do or could do or shouldn't do. And so I got around enough donation money, and we rented a sled. And then because I was pulling at that time, I knew a lot of the guys that pulled. I said, hey, how about coming to pull? And they did. They came, pulled. That really helped us. That kind of got us off the ground. And then, so that was the first year. The second year, we added on trucks. And one of the guys that had been a member of the club for almost 20 years, that particular club, I told him, I said, because he had a very limited parking area, I said, oh, you want to make this really big, make it as big as you can, and try and fill it up. If it doesn't fill up, okay, but you don't want to be after the fact. Here you are crowded, no place to go. He said, if you fill that up, I'll buy you a steak dinner. And he had a reserve area where you could run them overflow. So about partway through, I went out, and one of the other members come over. I said, is that full out there? He said, I think he owes you a couple steak dinners, because we packed the house, and it worked out great. Within a few years, we took a club that had barely any money in account. We had put $13,000 in the checking. We bought a sound system. We got bleachers up. And we'd made a lot of improvements. We bought a building to put the equipment in. So that was the start of it. Then, like everything, clubs, as soon as somebody gets in there and thinks that somebody else's whatever, then you split. So we left there, and we had momentum, I felt. And so some of the founding members of the other club kind of came with us to the Burlington Motor Park. And I asked them about doing it, and they were kind of hemming and hawing, but they jumped on board, and we started it. Now, our first year, we took a hayfield that was nothing more than a hayfield, put up some guide rail, and we started out. We rented the light towers. We rented everything to do it. I had to make lots of phone calls for food vendors, and we had a pretty good turnout. And then it just kept growing each year. And every year we were doing improvements. We added the light poles, and then we added, we started out with just little bleachers, then we got bigger bleachers. And so, it's been a slow thing coming. And then we didn't have any power, and then we put power in, and now we've got a well. And so it's been a long time coming. And why do I do it? I don't know. I guess the satisfaction really, if you'd have went there anytime last year, those shows, I didn't put them on the tractor pull thing, the whole thing. It was another promoter. She did a fantastic job. She really did. I give her credit, because I wasn't going to throw my money out there and go get 2 sleds and all that, but she did. And it grew from there, and it really helped, and it worked good. And It was amazing though when you get there and you just pull down in, and the people that come, this is funny. They come up and they're like, I said, "What'd you think?" They said, "When we come around the corner and we could see, because basically you're going through mountainous area kind of, and then all of a sudden it opens right up. And when you come around the corner, here it is, woof, just tons of tractors and trailers and people and cars and food vendors, and it was just like it was unbelievable. They couldn't believe, they figured it was going to be a good crowd, but nothing like there was.
Right.
I mean, we were just shy of 500 hooks in the first poll, a little over 4,000 people.
Holy cow!
Yeah, that's what Denver and Steve said. They compared, to some of the other polls that they announced there and stuff, and it was impressive. And that to me, that was the satisfaction. I guess that's why I do it. And yeah, it doesn't put money in my pocket. I spend lots of days and nights making sure that I can get things together. Even now, we've still got a lot that's happening behind the scenes before this poll. So, putting a promotion out there and letting everybody know what we've got going. And it's last year was great because a lot of people didn't have a place to go. They were looking for places. So now a lot of people know about us that didn't know about us previous, and even not too many miles away from us. And so now that we've got our word out there and they kind of get to see the type of shows that we can put on, I think everything's going to be good. We've got big plans in the future, adding more bleachers and constantly improving. And so we'll always be adding on, and we love to pull, and I don't pull much anymore. I mean, I have pulling tractors, but this takes a lot of time. And when the show's going on, there's no time, but I appreciate everybody that comes out, pullers and spectators. Without either of you, obviously we wouldn't have a show. And we're trying to promote pulling as much as anybody, and we appreciate it. And I appreciate Jason putting us on here and getting us out there, and Will with WWP TV would be up doing some of the live feeds for us.
We're live on his page. We're live on his page right now as well. So
yep, great guy. And I'll tell you, he just did some t-shirt work for us and sweatshirt. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen some of the stuff there in the beginning. It looked good, but it wasn't my own personal money. And then we threw some stuff out for him to make, and he does a good job. I'm going to tell you, would not hesitate to use him again for sure.
No, he does. He's very, very passionate about it. He's a good friend of mine, so I enjoy everything he does. From a pulling perspective, Floyd, when's the last time you've driven something down the track?
It's probably been a couple years ago. I had a light limited super stock that I used to run, and I've got a couple projects in the shop, but I don't know. Running this stuff takes a lot out of you. I don't feel like I did when I was in my 30s. So I don't have the go up to the shop and work all night. Now I remember how my dad was when I was working on a tractor, had it torn apart, and there was a pole 2 hours away that we were going to try and make if we could get it together in 2 hours. My dad's like, "Oh, just wait till tomorrow." And I would be gung-ho and make sure it happened. But now I think I'm like my dad. I think I'll wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, the one good thing about COVID, if there was one good thing about COVID, was the fact that a lot of pullers, like I saw it in the Midwest, there were certain states that were shut down, Floyd, and there were certain states that weren't. I saw a lot of, I've kind of always compared pulling to like a church. If you're Catholic, you go to the Catholic church. If you're Methodist, you go to the Methodist church. But I saw a lot of pullers cross. I saw some NTPA pullers come pro pulling league. I saw some pro pulling pullers go pull outlaws, and it opened up a lot of new venues. And you talked about that with your park. A lot of people maybe wouldn't come to your event because they had something somewhere else, but they got exposed to a good place. And I think you have some really good momentum from all the comments I can see and things like that, Floyd. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, it was interesting, and that's what a lot of people do like, is there's locally here we have, I think there's probably 7 or 8 local organizations between Pennsylvania and New York that are local that run, and together with no place to run, they're all running together. So now they've doubled or tripled their, so they're running a class where there's 6 or 7 hot stock tractors. Now there's 25.
Yep.
So, when they came together and they run, we had some tractors from Indiana that come out to pull. We had a truck pull guy that came from Texas to pull, in Florida, Maine. It was amazing. But to see all these guys when they come and they group together, and then the numbers really go up, it was impressive. And it, this year's looking good. We've got a lot of people that have responded back that are anxious to come and pull. And So we're just trying to get everything together. It's a lot of work, but we're going to make it happen.
How many events do you have a year, Floyd?
Well, last year was an exception. We usually just run one in the spring and one in the fall. We try and be early in the spring, so a lot of the guys that are running points pulls have a chance they can come. They'll pull at our track because they're not running their points yet, and they're just kind of a test and tune and running. And then the later part of the years, like they want to get a few hooks on. So we usually run one in the spring and then one in the fall. And I'm not sure about summertime yet this year, but it's just depending on last year. There was nobody was really pulling. So other promoter there, she did a good job and she put them on pretty much throughout the summer. So we had a packed house pretty much all summer long in between. We had other shows. We had Demolition Derby and Monster Truck, but the truck and tractor pulls, I mean, they were impressive to say the least. And not just because it was my place or whatever, but it really was. And, the COVID situation, but it did, like you said, it give people a taste of what we really got to offer at Burlington Motor Park.
Yeah, but again, if you look at the screen right now, I have the class schedule that Floyd had sent me. 6 p.m. Friday night, 2 tracks. There's a north side and a south side. Got the mini rods Friday night. Session 2, then it starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday during the day. Looks like we have our garden tractors on track 2, then some of the smaller mini rod classes, and maybe some like the 6,000 pound V8 tractors at 9 a.m. and then Saturday night again at 6 p.m. Floyd, do you guys charge per session, or how does it work for Saturday's admission?
No, it's going to be $15 a person each day.
Okay.
Whether it's Friday or Saturday.
Saturdays, if I come at 9 a.m. on Saturday, it's good for the whole day.
Yeah, it's good for the whole day.
Okay.
Kids 5 to 12 years old are $5. But if you have a pulling vehicle, it doesn't cost you to get in. One pulling vehicle is one free entry.
Gotcha.
Everybody else will pay, and then we have the camping. But we have a lot of food vendors there, so you don't have to worry about really if you didn't bring your gas grill, you're going to be all right. There's a little bit of everything there. There's funnel cakes and cotton candy and the hamburgers and cheeseburgers and lots of choices of drinks and milkshakes. And so I think you'll be happy when you get there. It's a fair-like atmosphere. We don't we don't have rides, which is one thing. Maybe there'll be something in the future, but we focus on our tractor pulling, truck pulling and stuff. And the garden tractor pulls, we didn't have any last year, but this year we've got it lined up, so we're going to have those again. That was something we had a lot of people locally request. And then some of the local weight classes we didn't have last year, we're also going to have those. They're added in here this year. So trying to make something for everybody.
Great. Well, we're going to wrap things up here at Floyd, but if anybody has any final questions, please type them into the comments. And Floyd's cell phone number has been running on the bottom now for the last 47 minutes. So I don't want to hear any excuses on you didn't know about it, or you didn't know the rules, or you didn't know what to do. Nothing makes me more angry when somebody says they didn't know. With all the social media and stuff nowadays that we do, if you want to find it, you can find it. You just got to actually try. So
isn't that just like don't complain to me about not getting your extended auto car warranty?
Yes. That guy calls me every day. So.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, Jason.
One last question, Floyd. If you could, we always ask this to every guest, you could drive any pulling truck or tractor at present time or in the past, what would you drive?
I don't know that I had the same desire to pull anymore that I used to. I think I'd have more fun watching somebody that I know that really likes to pull, that doesn't have the opportunity. One of the guys that was a track guy that worked at our track, he's the John Deere guy, which is the best part. And I had 3 tractors down there. Yep, that's what I thought. So he's like, oh, you ought to let me pull your tractor. So I let him on my light super stock. So he made a pull down the track, and it wasn't perfect, but he got done, and he come around, and the clutch was going up and down like this, his foot on the clutch. And I said, what's the matter with the clutch? He goes, it's not your clutch, it's my leg. So I think I broke him with a John Deere club, and he definitely admitted that the International made some power. So now I think that if I didn't, myself, I think I'd get more satisfaction watching somebody that really is in the pulling, that wants to drive something, really watching them. I think that'd be, for me, that'd be best.
Let's just say one time you could jump on anybody's tractor, from Esden Lanes to Wayne Sullivan's. What would you drive? I mean, you don't have to fix it if you break it. You just get your. It's like winning lottery.
I'm sorry, but I'd probably have to get on a Silver Bullet.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
Would you want to pull it in Burlington, or would you want to take it to Bowling Green, or where would you want to take it?
No, I think just the ride alone, and Burlington, Bowling Green, of course, they've got a lot bigger crowd than what we've got, and they've only been doing it for 150 years more. But I think that it would be a good ride right here, and some of the tractors that are running here. If you look at Chain Breaker,
Chain Reaction.
Yep. If you look at those tractors, I mean, I think they're the same level tractor, I believe.
They are. Yeah, it's a diesel side of the super stock world. But no, you have some big stuff here. I was looking through the pictures. I mean, Airborne's been there. Yeah, there's been a lot of good stuff. Light Pros, I'm seeing a lot of stuff on here. So.
Yeah, that's what I said when you walk through the video. I mean, at 500 hooks, there's got to be a lot of stuff because it wasn't a duplication of hooks. It was everybody gets one hook and you're out the door, and it was something. We started at 6:30 at night, and it was 2:30 in the morning when we made our last hook. But and it wasn't anticipated, so that's how it stretched out to the 2-day 2-sled thing.
Right
after that, but no, it was a good time.
No, I love it. Well, good luck to you. I want you to send me a full poster if you can. The one that you sent me is kind of cut off. So,
yeah, that was a multi-poster from a month ago here, but we'll have new ones out in another week.
We'll get that shared around, and then let's probably jump back on here the week of your event, okay?
Sounds good.
And then you and I can just jump on and talk about the event and do our thing. So
yeah, we'll know a little more by then. I might even be able to show a little bit of the park, get a video up, and you can throw it out there.
Sounds good, buddy. Well, hey, have a great night, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jason.
See you, Floyd.
Bye.